remember when I was a kid, my mom or grandparents often take me to here and collect those dried pine tree needles. Good morning YouTube, this is Yan. This is the first episode of Mainland China and I am going to start with a very ordinary city, that is my hometown, Guangde. Speaking of Guangde, it's extremely unknown both internationally and domestically. So when I was abroad, many of my friends asked me from which city that I am from. Normally I would answer with Shanghai, because that's the closest big city that almost everyone knows. And in China, there are altogether over 600 cities, over 1,400 counties. Counties are a little bit smaller than the cities, and among that, over 600 has a population of more than 500,000. And my city is quite average. It has a population of a little bit more than 500,000, including those who are living in the countryside, in small towns. Lonely Planet made a whole book about Anhui Province. I just checked the catalog. My city Guangde was not even on the list. Nevertheless, I want to show you my city because it's quite lovely. This is the Google Earth. This is China. And if we zoom in here, this is Shanghai, and this is Anhui Province, and here it's my city, Guangde. So the purpose of this video is to show you the ordinary life of an ordinary city in China and also our beautiful landscape. But before start, I want to tell you a little about our dialect, because we don't speak Mandarin, we have our own dialect. And I am going to ask my dad for some assistance. So my dad, he's from the southern part of Anhui. They have their own dialect, so he has a very strong accent. His Mandarin is not so perfect either, but we're going to start from here. 我先讲了哈，我讲了之后你帮我讲一下。你一天到晚不找工作，拿个相机拍么子拍的？
一天到晚不找工作，拿个手机拍什么东西呢？
你看看人家。小伢都2个了，
你看看人家，小孩都有2个了。
So you see, it's very, very different. And also in this region, like, there are many different kinds of variations. So if you move to another city, only an hour away, you will see something different. My grandparents live in Lutun. It's a small village about maybe 6 or 7 kilometers away from here. Normally my dad would drive us there, but I want to show you the public transport. So I told him I'm going to take the bus from the bus station to get there. $几块钱呢？1块钱、2块钱。路程。到马上去。I have never been to this area. It's pretty new. So that is our bus station. And this is the countryside of my city. My grandparents actually live over there, about 10 minutes away by walk. But first of all, I'm going to the reservoir. We have a big reservoir. It's very beautiful. I'm going to show you the landscape and then fly my drones. What a nice place for fishing. There are some small ponds not far from the reservoir, and it's quite a popular place for those who like fishing. 是啊。It's so quiet. It's kind of nice, and also here, those vegetables they are making dried vegetables, and then they want to pickle them to make it salty, and we really love it. Some more fishermen. 各位嘅呢個魚釣大咧。That's very happy. And here it's a small forest. It's very beautiful in the spring and also in autumn because of all the golden fallen leaves. Many people like to take wedding photos here. It's so quiet. Those are the pine trees. I remember when I was a kid, my mom or grandparents often take me to here and collect those dried pine tree needles to burn, to make a fire for cooking. There is a small vendor, a truck that is selling fruits. The driver, he's just taking a rest here. And that's a new cabin car who came here to take wedding photos. As I told you before, this place is quite scenic, so it's quite popular for new couples to take wedding photos. Look at that. This is the biggest reservoir in my city and also a very important one. First of all, our clean drinking water comes from here. And secondly, it's used for irrigation, especially for the rice field. And thirdly, we use the water to generate electricity. But this year actually we had a very extreme hot summer, maybe because of global warming, so the water level is quite low. My grandpa, he's a bit deaf, so you have to shout. 公公，
吃饭了
吃鸟
啊？
吃鸟了。 吃了了，嗯。
这饭高兴没？
不吃饭。
好。
This firewood wall, it's all made by my 90 years old grandpa.还没上，你才3点多，4点钟都不到，都要吃饭了噻。我不才来的吗？
单位搞好了吗？去了吗？
单位搞好了。
上海。
上海。
上海啊？
嗯。
你这起点联系的，还是手机高头联系的？
之前讲好了的。
哦。
嗯。
哪天上班呢？
过几天再去。
嗯。
嗯。 So just for your information, my grandpa, he's expecting me to get a decent job somewhere in Shanghai, and for him it's really hard to understand what is social media and what is alternative job choice. So every time when he asks me, I just say, okay, I am going to work in Shanghai, and then he is happy. 再给他倒一点。 给婆吃一点点，不能吃多了。有点太干了。
肥臊的。
Today, Mom, Dad, and I were going to the southern part of my city. It's a hilly area with a lot of bamboo trees, and also my dad is the only one in my family who can drive, so he will be the driver today. This is our car. Oh no, this is not our car. Our car is in the front. This one. 一般开车这么老抖哎。 他想闯过去。
不是老抖，我现在是换个车道，换个车道往这里。
Here is the starting point of the scenic area, and that is a gate. I want to fly my drone here, but I forget my mobile phone, so my mom is fetching my mobile phones. This is just one of the many typical villages in this hilly area. Now it's lunchtime, so they are eating outside while talking with their neighbors. In the countryside, it's more relaxed. They know their neighbors quite well, and every house, almost every house, has a small garden like this. They grow some spring onions, some green vegetables. a big truck taking all the bamboos to the city. Since Guangde City, our county, it's one of the 10 famous regions producing bamboos. I think maybe we rank 7th among all the 10 places. In the winter, we have a lot of winter bamboo shoots, which is like one of the most famous dishes here in Guangde. We use the bamboo shoots to cook chicken, to make chicken soup. And in the spring, we also have bamboo shoots. Although we have a lot of bamboo trees, we don't really have the pandas. Those are the small, like the thin bamboos, but we also have very big ones. It's a kind of plant that grows really fast. And those, they are the tombs in our region. So in the countryside, in the past, when the family member dies, they just bury them in the land that belongs to the family. Solar energy is very often used in my region. Almost every house, look at that, those small tiny things, they are the solar heaters. They are used to heat up the water when there is sunshine. And also here on this house, there are the solar panels. They're used to generate electricity. So those are our breakfast shop. Normally we eat either noodles, dumplings, or we eat steamed bread, 包子, or 烧麦. It's like a steamed sticky rice. 老板要一个那个雪菜包。一个。I also want to show you this steamed bread. This is pickled vegetable inside and it's very hot. My city has quite a long history. There is evidence of human activities back in the Stone Age. And when this place was first called Guangde, that was about 1,800 years ago. However, there are not a lot of historical sites, and there is a reason behind that. About 200 years ago, by the end of the Qing dynasty, there was the Taiping Tianguo, the Taiping Rebellion, and here was a battlefield. Afterwards, there was a pandemic and the population decreased to only 6,000. During the Second World War, during the Japanese invasion, the city was bombardized. So most of the city right now, what you can see today, was constructed when New China was founded.
宁锅粉是吧？
锅根粉，
锅根粉，好少钱一斤
30。
30啊。
多大的这才打的新鲜的。
哦，不您卖是吧？
这个啊，这个这一袋一袋的嘛。
就一袋袋的。
哎，一袋也不多，一袋是2斤。
那算了，谢谢你哈。
少一点就说。
太多了，要不了，我就想尝尝。
So you see, it's not very exciting, but it's the same shop, same style, but repeat itself in almost every district. Now it's winter and the temperature is dropping, so I just bought this pants. I paid 60 yuan, which is about like $10 for that. So the cost of living in my city is not very high. It's much lower than that in Shanghai, for example. 老板，蛋卷多少钱一卷呀？10块钱一袋是吧？哦，我拿一袋了。桃酥多少钱一袋？12是吧？那我拿2袋。老板哪的人呢？
我娘家是外地的，
外地哪个省的？
还是安徽省的，安庆那边的省的。
哦，怪不得听那个讲话口音不一样嘞。谢谢老板。
好，慢走。
Actually, my city has a booming economy. There is industrialized zones, new factories. So people from other parts of China, such as from southern Yunnan and Guizhou province, or from other parts of Anhui, are coming here. They get a job and then they settle down. So my city has a growing population. 香鸡，
香鸡啊？
是的，
一香鸡有几斤？
小香鸡，
小香多少钱？
2000多。
哎呦，好贵的嘛。
是的，但是小，小好用。
好用吗？
嗯。
我不多什么样。
香鸡小得很。嗯。As I was doing vlogging on the street, I think people are super curious. First of all, I'm talking English, and secondly, I'm holding a very small camera, so many people just stop and staring at me. I am now in the park of my city, and there is someone who is doing the open air karaoke. He has a sound box, and he also has an electronic screen on which he can click which song that he wants. He's very well equipped. This is the southern district of Guangde, and my city is actually a great example to show you the rapid urbanization process. This whole district has been built in the past maybe from 10 to 12 years. And if I pull out the Google image, you can see that back 30 years ago, in around 1984, my city is just a little small town, and starting 20 years ago, the city began to expand, and back 15 years ago, we started the industrial area, and then ever since, the city has been expanding. Now we have an industrial zone that is almost the same size with the residential, with the living quarter, and meanwhile the city has expanded many times. So that's all for today's video. I hope my hometown Guangde is a good start for you to get to know China. And starting from tomorrow, I will be traveling with my dad. We're going to visit his hometown in southern part of Anhui, which is a historically and culturally rich place, the Hui district. So that's it, and see you!